Hi, everybody. Welcome back, I should say. I'm back. Welcome. Welcome back. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. It is 5:02, and I would like to call the meeting to order and just confirming that Dan, you're going to be the recording secretary.
She was pre-recruited.
Pre-recorded. Okay.
So she's on the agenda, actually, that's funny, I did put you on.
Yeah, no, that's good, that's great. So I guess the first, let's take a look at the August.
So we end up having the August minutes because I've had the printer malfunction before the last meeting. So even though you got them electronically, we didn't have them to review and approve. And then also Laurie's September minutes. Laurie.
So once we get a chance to get back, then we'll go around and introduce ourselves.
Could I just say I was present? And it says I wasn't.
Which one,
August.
August? Okay.
It doesn't, I don't think I see me, but I wasn't present in August, but I don't see me anywhere.
And I think I was present.
You were,
Oh, dear.
okay,
Oh,
so.
I wasn't here in September.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we do our introductions right now, and then you can say, as we go through the room, if you were or you weren't here for the August meeting. So why don't we, Susan Drebich Kelly, Vice Chair of the Board.
Linda Hayes Kelly, Director of the Senior Center.
Kelly Walsh, Assistant Director of the Senior Center.
Laura Manuel, Transportation Coordinator. Susan Pope, Board Member.
Leslie James, Board Member.
Lori Brady, Board Member.
Kenzie Vanderbrook, representing South Shore Elder Services.
Hannah Morris, Board Member.
Dee Dwyer, Board Member. Not present, oh, do you want me to say that? I wasn't here in August.
Okay, so that one,
Nice.
I'm sorry, I forgot, I was present.
so you were present,
In August.
and Dee was not. Okay, thank you.
September, no, it's on here, are
Yes.
We're just doing
That's
August.
next, they're right under them.
Elaine Shabari, FOSS coordinator.
they? Pat Compton, Board Member.
Great, Schlegel Select Board.
Thank you all. So basically, the correction on August for the attendance, the corrections are that Susan Pope was present,
And Leslie.
and Leslie was as well,
Mhm.
and Dee
She was not.
Dwyer was not present. Okay, thank you for those corrections. Any other corrections or additions?
No.
Hi, Russ. Hello. You want to just say your name and introduction since we just went around the topic?
Russ Bowen, Board Member.
Thank you. And you were present for the August meeting?
I believe so.
The right one.
Because Russ, I don't see you present here either.
Yes, he was.
He's on there.
He's on there.
Okay.
Like before.
Oh, okay. Any additions, corrections, revisions to the August report? Can I have a motion to accept the August meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. The September minutes should be right under. Did not say, you know what, I'm sorry, it doesn't say minutes, I didn't know that, but it is the minutes.
So can we just take a few minutes to look at the September minutes?
Thursday, September 11th. This doesn't say minutes.
Leslie and Susan, is the not in attendance correct for both of those?
So I might say right away, and Laurie, I know, actually, maybe you weren't here, but we couldn't do the August minutes because they weren't in print.
Right.
So instead of minutes from the last meeting were reviewed, motion made,
Oh,
I think we need to alter that. Minutes were unavailable in print. Approval was postponed until next meeting.
How do the minutes get edited? Do you do that?
I do that. And then should give them, Jill normally posts them, we are a little behind.
Yeah, so that was the other thing, is to maybe make sure that they start getting posted publicly.
That would be my
Yeah,
doing.
great. That'd be super. Any additions, corrections, revisions for the September board meeting minutes? Can we have a motion to accept those minutes? So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Linda, do you want to?
Okay.
start with your report?
I'll hop in. Hi, everybody. See you. What? Nice
Hi,
full
Linda.
room. So I'll try to zip through. Let's see. 90 new registrations during the month of
Wow.
September, so that's sort of a little record.
That's
We've
awesome.
been talking about 50 a month, more or less, as we've seen, so that is great. Not sure what to attribute that to necessarily, but it's September, so we were calling some activities back to school just to try to get people sort of revved up for what we might be offering, so maybe that was it. I continue to get some donations in memory of Audrey Reedy, which was additional to others we had received previously. And we've had a couple of private donations and one nice donation from Etrusco, who does have their annual dinner meeting here every year, so he's very nice to do that.
No, I agree with that.
Yes, very sad. Audrey Reedy, many of you knew, and had been the board chair for several years, had actually interviewed me in 2013 when I was taking the
She's
job.
a great lady.
Very nice, yes, she was. So sad. I did complete, so just last week, the requested level funded, more or less, budget for the town administrator with an identified 5% cut, which currently for the proposed $422,000 budget is $21,000, so that's not really easy to find either. And we've never been asked for that before, so certainly we'll see if that becomes a reality. But, you know, there is a lot of money that they will need to find.
So you're saying you had to cut 21,000?
Everybody was asked to do that,
Oh,
to propose how they might do that if we were called upon to do that, in fact, or if the town had to do that.
Wow.
So, so my budget is really, as stated there, it's a slight 3% increase, and that is just really mostly inherent in the salaries. I mean, this will be the first, well, this current fiscal year will be the first fiscal year that we have a new position, even though it was put in a year ago, it was FY '26, I'm sorry, FY '25. Now we're in FY '26, and this is FY '27. So, you know, just the raises and whatnot, a couple of small facilities, things that had to go up, like Comcast goes up, so, you know, the cost of Comcast simply goes up. So I also cut other things like an equipment line item and whatnot that I am using one this year, but I can forego it next year. So, you know, we'll see, but we wait for the town administrator's sort of recommendation based on what we deliver. So that we will see soon enough. Cabinetry behind me is new and really was a necessity, but also something, you know, we wanted to look nice and blend with the room. We could have bought things, but really this was the right way to go. So it just got finished.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think Lucille already filled every drawer and cabinet.
I can believe
The
that.
supplies for social day, which were sort of just starting to bleed into the room, and, you know, we use the room for so many other things.
And
It
into
just
the
wasn't
bathroom
okay.
too.
And into, well, actually, mostly into the bathroom, you're right. So, into the shower.
Into the shower. God
Terrible.
forbid that somebody actually needed
Which
the
is here.
shower.
So anyway, very happy, and
Looks
so
lovely.
that was
Looks awesome.
an expense, part of which, I used, we had an state earmark, funds that hadn't been completely used yet, so some of that was from there and some was from the formula grant. And then, I guess also I purchased 4 new outdoor chairs for the bocce court that were really very nice, perfectly weighted and nice looking, because the hope is that they don't continue to need to always pull the patio seating over to the bocce court and leave it there. And the benches we like there, that's fine, but they, you know, there are a lot of people playing twice a week. They do need seating, I may need more, but I finally found something that seemed to be suitable. So that was good. And also, as it turns out, we are having to purchase a new copier, which is where the current equipment line item is going. So luckily I had that, only partial, so then, also luckily our formula grant is really in good standing. We still have money from the 2020, 2025 have just started having 2026 available, which is $80,000. So we do use it for some positions, as I think you know, and you know, we use it all over the place really, but we have had sufficient funds for a lot of the spending that we've had to do. So that new copier really, because we wanted a new maintenance agreement, we had to renew, and because everybody else in the town was going to Rico instead of from whom we had purchased the copier and then was no longer affiliated with Rico. Long story short, they did an inspection. It would have cost us $5,000 to bring it up to par for them to now maintain it. So it was just time to buy a new one. So that's what we're doing. And it does get a lot of use, needless to say. Basically, everybody uses the one copier
Yeah.
printer, copy printer, scanner, fax machine. Social day program sort of is consistent, continuing with the 9 participants. We have the extra and no one's going anywhere. And then we still have our rotating volunteers, which haven't changed either. And a combination of new and really existing clients participating in the half day on Fridays because we haven't filled completely with new people yet. So that's been working out too, and that's been a good addition. Our survey, which is still downstairs both at the front desk and the cafe, if anybody hasn't completed it and would like to, I'm gonna continue it through the month, October at least. I mean, we did a couple of days where we had sort of the back to school kind of theme concept going, and many people were caught, photos were taken, help was given, whether they had questions about my active center or my senior center or programs in general. So they had a little fun. So we have those surveys, but now I'm just kind of, maybe we'll ask people coming to activities whether they've.
So what actually? 'cause
It's
I-
an annual survey, it's a
Oh.
general annual survey on all kinds of questions, but I didn't bring a copy. I gave a copy in last week's packet, but you don't have that in front of me, so. But they're downstairs,
Okay.
I'll get you one. And a lot of it, not a lot of it, but part of it was to sort of glean some level of interest in continuing education, lifelong learning, what we would call lifelong learning, and whether, you know, we want to concentrate on obtaining more of that, or whether there's other interests we want to prioritize, just because obviously with limited resources, you want to know what direction they want you to go, if there is that. So, and it's part of the mandate, of course, for the accreditation that we do that anyway, though we want to. The health fair did happen last Friday. It was, I think, a success, and as Anna mentioned, having volunteered for us along with Laurie, I mean, there was a lot of buzz. It is hard to tell how many people were there, so we have only so many check-ins, which amounted to about 60, which there were many more people there, so then we resort to counting bags that were given out, and that was 150, pretty much. So, I guess we could say there's that. I don't know why, because a lot of the people are patrons, maybe some new faces, but not 100. So really, they should have checked in, do you know what I mean? I think we should have expected that, but they didn't.
Can I add something?
Sorry?
Oh, we had a group from Weymouth came,
Oh, yeah.
and they said that they heard about the fair, and they wanted to see, you know, the center of it, because they heard it was unbelievable.
Nice.
And their senior center in Weymouth is very run down and very small. So they walked into here, they were like in Oz.
Yeah.
So I had them go and talk to Jill, because I didn't know if they wanted to join, and I didn't know if they could, because they lived in Weymouth. So
They could, they can.
there were
Absolutely.
4 couples, they came,
Oh, that's nice.
husband and wives, and they were very interested in the art. That there was a reception, everything, they liked that.
Oh, that is nice.
A little social.
I mean, Weymouth has a good reputation and is well used, they're full. They actually were one of the first ones to start to say they were giving priority to Weymouth residents first, and then after those signups had happened, maybe, you know, a week later or 2 weeks later, they would allow others. Because generally speaking, we all do allow anyone else from other towns to come. But it is an old school, and they, you know, they do as well
I went to a
as.
chair yoga class there with a friend, and it was like 100 people in the gym.
Unbelievable. It's a big city.
Yeah, and it's
now.
a big gym, but it
It's a big
is
gym,
a
I
very
see.
tired old building.
Where is
Yeah.
this?
Weymouth.
But that's nice to hear. So I didn't realize that, and that's great. She was a good, everybody, thank you for the volunteering. It was great, very helpful. So I think our 40 vendors were happy. You know, Kelly did a lot to make that happen, as well as Kale, and all the staff who were in the room doing their thing and giving people information. So we were front and center. It was great. It was a good event. So, and speaking of staff, so we literally have a full quorum of staff, which is amazing, and actually one. So
Exciting.
it is exciting. So Kelly's been able, as assistant director now, and taking on volunteer tracking and management, and even recruitment and placement, and as well as the senior tax workout program, which is for this year, this calendar year, coming to a close the end of October. So then that report goes in. New people can start to accumulate hours, whether they've been on the program, they can continue. I usually ask for another app or just some record that they're re-upping, and then we still have probably 5 or 6 or more new placements, but anyway, so, and then Joe DeVito, the town assessor, is planning to continue to do his series of informational presentations starting in December through the winter. So he always mentions that as well, but the start date for the 133 hours that can be used toward the $2,000 tax reduction on property taxes if you're an owner, really technically is January through October. We have a little play with that, but that's the time frame. So that's in Kelly's court now. She's been onboarding Janine into outreach and helping Lauren out with a lot of the transportation requirements because she's done both. Which is good, which turns out to have been very good, working her way
Good
up.
for you.
No, really, I'm very happy, very helpful. And, you know, we've had the part-time dishwasher position posted. I have not heard about applicants, but I haven't been able to talk to Bob, our HR clerk. So we've actually recruited a couple of new volunteers, which for a while we were not getting. And so right now, we can last a little while, but we do hope, and we've had some people mention in certain aspects they might be interested. So we're working on that, but the posting is for basically an 8-hour, 2-hour day position, Monday through Thursday.
How
So
much, what is the pay?
what is the pay? I didn't bring the
No, that's
posting with
okay.
me, it's around 16.
Okay, just in case I
It's 16,
think of any.
It's, you know, a certain first
Yeah.
level in step 1. So, Lauren's here, so I'm gonna let her wait, and Kelly's here for her report. I'll just jump a little bit into, you know what, I did wanna mention, it's been 2 years, I guess, that we've been doing the Senior Sing Chorus program, and they don't know this yet, but Bill Richter had to step down. He couldn't continue, he just let us know really about a week ago. And he gave us a couple of leads, which we've tried to follow, and then gone on to make a couple of other calls, from which I've not had any response yet. So we don't know if that might be a little bit delayed or on hiatus, or we're just in need of a chorus leader who can play the piano, because that's a.
Peter Munt.
I did not call Peter Munt.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, so, all right, well, you're right.
The whole family.
I know who he is. I called and left a message for Diane today, and someone else, Bill, had, so I didn't.
That's so good.
Okay.
Does the chorus know that he's not
No,
going to be?
no, it is supposed to start up next week. Well, I was hoping not to have to delay it or whatever, so now we do. So I'll call him though.
Can I just ask one question? On the flu clinic.
Oh,
yeah.
did I jump? I must have jumped.
No, that's okay, you did, but that's okay. So for the one that's coming up, what actually is about, because I know last year, I think, didn't you you had a schedule, they had
The
a,
flu clinic by the department, the Board of Health,
okay.
asks that people register online. That's their system.
So how did you go onto the town website?
You can do it that way, yep, there's definitely a posting for them.
Okay,
If someone has trouble with that, they could call them, certainly we could help, we have in the past, but most people have been calling them.
okay.
But there is a link to get people there if they use it, but frankly, I don't have it, so it's probably on the town website.
Okay.
But we did one on a Friday here upstairs in the Peggotty room, because that's where we could put them, and then the next time really that was easily scheduled was a Saturday, which I think is great, actually. So, yes, and she was here for the health fair, and I think she gave out some flu shots, but that was a little tricky, because even then, they wanted them registered and not just to walk in and sit down.
We probably need to keep a record.
And it's insurance related too.
One of the questions was, just, Bethany, you have not here in this file.
Okay.
Should we have been? I don't know.
Yes,
They were present.
I have to pick up that. You came in August, I think, Bethany.
Because I'm just noticing Bethany and
And Hannah.
Ann, neither one of you were mentioned either here or not here in August.
That's because at the next paragraph, it says we're introduced.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
but
it's
still,
in the
they should be
present.
considered present, yeah. We can fix that,
Oh,
thank you.
okay. Yeah, okay.
So activities from Gail, again, numbers, a lot of numbers, unduplicated, meaning these are the single individuals who came into the building for activities over the course of the month, as opposed to that person coming in 25 times. So that's not the count you're getting, it's just that they came in. So for September, obviously the numbers went
Wow.
way up for a couple things.
Wow.
Bob's class, which actually, as you well know, is every 6 weeks with maybe a week in between, so that's not, it's never not present for a whole month, his class. But we've had some great presentations, I think, that have come in, driving, especially driving with beginning stages of dementia maybe, and that was addressed, so I think people appreciated that. Our Art for Your Mind, of course, the cultural event there, so that in large part takes up that number, 159 for September. Our fitness and exercise also, still bringing in bigger numbers. Now, health screenings, funny enough, here it's mentioned and there's 44. That was the flu clinic, I guess we counted those check-ins we got, and some of the practitioners that come in to perform other things. But the health fair was really October 3rd, so those aren't even appearing here under health screening, that's where it is. So that's really for next month, the numbers, not that it's a big deal, but. At least she's letting you know what under each of these categories goes into it. So recreation, for instance, well, that's social visits, so people are just coming in for the cafe. Special presentations, book talks, etc. That's under recreation. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think recreation is also mahjong in the game. So those rooms are pretty filled for mahjong and hand and foot, and even bridges up to 3 tables on a Friday
Wow.
night. So that's 3 or 4 tables actually. also not here, I mean, we did have, men's breakfast, gosh, now I can't think of it.
I think it is right here, social events.
Gosh, I can't remember what came in September.
Actually, oh, we want, was that in August?
But the
That
one
was
we
in
just
September.
hit,
It
well,
was,
Okay.
they, it was on, cable TV too.
Oh, the one we just had,
Yeah.
Aaron.
oh, September, we actually had Dr. Parker, who is the
Okay.
audiologist that came in, which is maybe a little unusual for the breakfast speaker, except that I think it's just one of these sort of pervasive, you know, things that people either don't talk about or really could use some, he's a great speaker, so he really delivered a nice overview of what people might be going through and the kinds of things that he sees or the kinds of things they could do about it. So although maybe a slightly smaller gathering for the breakfast, not much smaller, it's probably still 25 to 30 people there. But in contrast to our men's breakfast this week, which isn't really in the report, but it was Aaron Katursky from ABC News and Scituate. So it was great that he literally skidded in here, having taken a flight in the morning, which he didn't expect to do, and so thought he was gonna have to Zoom, but then decided, I guess, to get out and fly in, and took an Uber down, and was a great, just nice, fun presentation with a lot of Q&A from the audience. And then his parents took him to Maria's and to the airport.
Wow.
That was it. So that was pretty nice of him, to say the least, to get here and do that for us. Because we love his parents and, you know, so does he, I guess. But he hadn't been here, so he hadn't seen it, the senior center. And
Yeah,
so,
but it is a senior center, I've been here when it was kids.
well, technically, yes. I guess he must have talked about that. But anyway, so the breakfast, the social events for the men's breakfast. We had a special thing on a Friday, 3 to 5, for line dancing for 2 hours, and we had a good 50, 55 people in here for that. That was great. So always trying to think of some new things.
I'm gonna turn the lights on, because
Oh.
I can't read it this morning.
Yeah, it went from being too bright to too dark. So yes, I guess Gail does mention that on the back
Very
side.
sorry, there's, wow, guess so.
Yeah, there we go.
Dimmer.
Wow. Thank you. My father used to do that to me all the time when I was doing my homework. I always had the lights on. That was before computers too, so you didn't have a screen that you had lit in front of you. Dating myself now. I've never said that.
I
Anyway.
thought you were gonna say, if you had a date over.
Oh, if I had a date over. Not untrue, no.
My
That
father
happened
would
too.
do things like that.
Anyway, so on the backside of activities, so Gail's not really, she did include a count, so to speak, of volunteers as we might have it, which, of course, we keep trying and Kelly will fix us completely, but not every volunteer who comes in, although all the front desk people are great, and the kitchen people, they really do get their hours in, as far as I know. But there's always the random other ones that may or may not do that, so we have to get on them and teach them how to do it so that we do have a clear count of volunteer hours. But that's just included because it always has been, but now really Kelly will have volunteer stuff in her report. We had a Nantucket trip, which was our own van bringing people to the ferry and then some hours spent on the island and then the trip back, which was Susan Popier and Joe, our special trip driver. So there's certainly some other trips planned, if we can continue doing that and still support it adequately, because there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of planning, a lot of reservations, a lot of payments to keep track of, and then sometimes too many last minute changes and problems, so it's a tough call sometimes, even though people love the trips. And using them with our van is easier than maybe trying to get a big bus together for the number that requires and the cost.
And the cost.
Yeah, and so, we're looking at it and continuing to try to do enough. But the local trips are also pretty appreciated, so.
I thought you were gonna put in your budget like a real big van for us.
Ah,
No?
dream? No, we're looking to cut, not
I
add,
know.
although we've talked about
I
another
just
vehicle.
saw in Weymouth's newsletter that they got a nice new van. I was reading today, the newsletter came out.
Well, We had a nice new van 4 years ago, and so far so good, but
They also have a food truck that just started. The food truck goes around to,
different housing?
different
developments.
housing.
Oh, that's
And,
interesting.
yes, and different centers, and it's an amazing food truck.
Oh, that's
Is it
nice.
part of a food pantry? Is it
It's
like
part of,
groceries and stuff, or is it?
it's separate, and they get their food in Rockland from the, food bank that's out of Boston.
Mhm.
It's in Rockland, and, they,
So that's sort of state.
It's a state one, yeah.
provided.
but they got an old school bus.
Yeah, wow.
And they redid it. I don't know who they got, but it was all,
Yeah, That's
volunteers.
brilliant, really, that's great.
This is Weymouth Senior Center did this?
The town of Weymouth.
I see, okay.
The town of Weymouth, as far as I know, it's from the town of Weymouth. But it goes around to different,
That's a great idea.
It is a good idea, I
And
mean,
they do
depending on,
have volunteers that deliver
From the food pantry, yes, they do.
to people who can't get out of their homes.
But the food, they came with the Bridge program, affiliated with South Shore Hospital. And, and you get it on, I think, Facebook. If you look on Facebook, they'll tell you where they are, periodically throughout the month.
Mhm. That's nice, only a matter of time. I mean,
We have launch though, that does go to our housing authorities and with the food truck, or they'll go and provide meals within the community room as well.
Oh, nice.
Launch is doing great. Launch sends a lot of their young people, young adult people to, they set our tables, they sometimes come through the building and clean in each of the rooms, so we do use them 2 days a week at least for that, but they have some other,
They're a great organization.
they are very good. Anyway, so, I think I could wrap up, that's activities, and, unless anybody has any questions for me, which of course you can ask anytime, I can turn it over to Kelly.
Hello, I officially began my role as assistant director on August 18th, having previously started as the outreach coordinator, and before that, the transportation coordinator. I've had the opportunity to become deeply familiar with many of the facets of the senior center's operations. I've also had the privilege of covering the social day program when needed. Working across these departments has given me valuable perspective on the participants' needs and the important work our team performs every day. This great background has made the transition to assistant director a natural and exciting next step for me. And have loved all the positions that I have worked in. Love being in the senior center and everyone I work with. I oversee and support the outreach, transportation, and social day departments, providing guidance to staff in each area, and I oversee now I'm overseeing this and supporting the volunteer program, and hoping to improve communication and scheduling systems to create a more organized process for the volunteers, asking at the desk, what are some of your needs, what would make your job easier here, which I hope to do that in the kitchen as well. Support Gail, the activities coordinator, in the coordination and planning of our health and wellness fair. I continue hosting our monthly meet and greets, which are good. It doesn't even matter how many people I have. I could have 2 people, I could have 10, and they're always so good. People are so happy and they love our building. I also do a caregiver support group on the first Monday of the month. That is really well run and participated. I started Susan's Grieve Not Alone support group this year, continuing the program that she successfully led for the past 5 years, right? It was 5 years, yeah. And maintaining its mission of providing meaningful grief support and community connection, which I did my first one and I loved it as much as my participants in it. They seemed to love it, but I will say Susan laid it all out for me. It's like she handed me like a class, schedule and syllabus and whatever, and I'm just running with hers, and it's amazing. And my current focus, enhancing volunteer engagement and recognition, including improving onboarding communication processes, supporting staff development and program consistency across outreach, transportation, and social day. I want to know if anybody needs anything, what can make their jobs easier. I want to be there. I want to help wherever I can. I also still want to create our memory cafe, which is the welcoming space for connection, creativity, and joy for those living with memory loss and their care partners. I think a lot of our participants in our social day program would definitely utilize our memory cafe, as well as people from surrounding towns. There is one in Norwell, there is one in Marshfield, so it'd be nice for us to have one here as well.
Kelly, let me just
Yeah.
interrupt you and say, can you just describe what a memory cafe is?
Sure, it is for people with, like say dementia, Alzheimer's, memory loss, and their caregiver, for the most part with their caregiver. They would come and sometimes it would be maybe drumming, maybe it would be an art class.
So it's not actually like a coffee cafe, it's not in the cafe?
No, they just call it a memory cafe.
Okay. Like
We
it's
would probably use it in one of the rooms.
like an enclave?
Either activity-based or social opportunity for some who can't maybe otherwise engage in some of the activities we would offer, but could come with their caregiver and
Oh, I see.
and
So this
sort
would
of
be
feel
facility.
connected. It doesn't even just have to be an official diagnosis at this point.
Right.
It's anybody that might be having trouble doing other things or just feels that
Exactly.
they'd like to participate with others who are having that
So
issue.
where do you hold it, here in this room?
It could be anywhere,
You don't know.
depending, we just do it at, a time that there isn't another program running. We could do it downstairs, we could do it, and, other people are welcome to attend it. But it is specifically geared for people and their caregivers.
I see.
But certainly anybody would be welcome to.
And we've kind of needed to give it a lot more focus and attention and more sort of package it. So that's what Kelly got this $20,000 grant to do.
Wow.
So now we're here and ready. So although we've dabbled a little bit, not so successfully, so really now.
So this is to like
we'd
really create it
Yeah.
as a.
Yeah.
So outside of the social day program itself, it's just another opportunity for people to engage together.
That's awesome.
And definitely people that are, when I've had my caregiver groups, they have reached out and specifically asked for, like, maybe an afternoon where we could all get together and they could socialize and have maybe pizza. So that could be classified as a memory cafe, but they definitely would like that because they enjoy getting together in our caregiver group. But then again, their time is limited because I'm doing it at the time that a lot of their spouses may be in our program, and that is their respite time, that they can get out and do what they need to get done by themselves, I guess, for lack of
So
a better.
Did you secure the $20,000 grant?
Did.
I did.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
that is. That's an awesome accomplishment.
That's great, and you're the facilitator?
For so it was kind of what we started our social day program, we can include that, with our
Yes,
money. The third day, so we have the Monday, Wednesday, which we've had for 2 years now.
Yes.
Which is 9:30 to 2:30, and then the Friday, which we now have, is 9:30 to 12:30. So adding on to that, we can use the money towards that, but we can also use it towards our memory cafe, good for this fiscal year. So, yeah, so it's good, I'm excited about it, and it's really dear to my heart. I love coming up to the program. When Lucille's not here, Lucille's amazing, but I love covering it if she's not here. Just an amazing group of people. So, and I feel for the caregivers, so, like, all across the board, it's good. We have an amazing program, I can't say enough about ours, and I did not start it, Jen Adams and Linda started it, so, thanks to them.
Kelly, I have a question.
Sure.
How many people could come to something like the Memory Cafe?
Well, so if they're coming with their spouse, the spouse or their caregiver, then it's okay, because it's not like here in the room where we have 9 on a Monday and a Wednesday, and we have the person coordinating it as well as the volunteer. So they're there, and their caregiver is really the one that's going to be watching and making sure that they're staying within a safe.
And it would be like any other activity,
Right.
there's,
Right.
so much room,
Right.
depending on what it is we're doing, so.
Okay,
maybe
so it's
that's-
not, it's not limited
No.
by how many
No.
volunteers you
No.
have or
No.
something like that?
Because they're not alone, they're not.
Right.
Thanks. Yeah. Looking ahead, continuing to build relationships with community partners and local organizations, and collaborating with Linda on operational goals and future planning to support the center's mission and continued growth. I am grateful for the opportunity to grow within the Scituate Senior Center and to continue serving our older adult community in this expanded role. I look forward to supporting our dedicated team, strengthening our volunteer network, and contributing to the continued success of our programs and services.
So thank you. Anyone have any questions for Kelly? Well, thank you, and we're all excited and grateful that you are the assistant director.
And I will simply mention that, and it's been great, so I'm very thankful for all the help Kelly has provided as we onboarded people, but also in her own right, on my right hand. Janine did do a report for outreach. She's been here also, like Lauren, just a month, but maybe in the interest of time, you can read this one, and I'm gonna maybe let Lauren, if she'd like. And this is Lauren Manuel, who started with us September 2nd, I think, right after Labor Day.
Okay.
Jumped right in, you know, honestly hasn't needed a lot of help, though she's had Kelly, of course, but really is perfect for the role that she's in, and we couldn't be happier to have her.
Thank you.
So this is
Welcome,
her first
Lauren.
time here, but
Thank you.
anyway.
Yeah, first in the board meeting, I did do a report last month, but I had no idea what I was writing. Thank you for helping me. This month, we did 423 rides. I've been working, Doug and I have become best friends at the
Social
council.
Community Action Council.
Yeah, Community Action Council. He's been awesome, but I've been trying to minimize that so we are not just running it money dry, because there's a lot of people that are in need. So I've worked with one of my drivers, Joe. He picked up a couple extra shifts a month just to get people to Boston or Plymouth or any of the longer drives that we really need. And then there are a few that I've had, Debbie, she'll go to Milton. There's just certain things I'm trying to work out so we don't just keep giving them money and that we don't need. But I've been here with the Senior Center for just over a month, and I'm enjoying my role. It's been a smooth transition, and I appreciate the opportunity to work with such a dedicated team and wonderful group of clients. I want to promote transportation services more broadly to ensure all eligible residents, which I've talked to a lot. Some are homebound, some need extra help. I did get a volunteer who just happens to be my mother.
I didn't know if we would mention that, yes.
Who just happens to be my mom, and she retired, and she used to be a nurse, and she absolutely loves it. So it's nice.
She's always a nurse.
Always a nurse at heart, forever. It's never gonna change. So with someone that I've had to put on, or at least have them use a wheelchair more just for their safety and for my bus driver safeties. I've had her go with some of them, and it's just been so nice. I've gotten calls back being like, you know what, didn't think I wanted someone. She was fun. Bring her on the next time, you know. So it's been really, really nice to have her, and I'm hoping to get a couple more, which we've talked about. A lot of volunteers have been starting to sign up this month, so hopefully by the end of the year we can get quite a few more in.
So these are more like companions?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just that like they're not alone, especially when they're coming, and some people, there's no names, but some people, they're still so unsteady on their feet and they don't want to admit it. So it's kind of like giving them the opportunity, like, oh, she's just riding along for the day, you know, she just has nothing to do. She's really the bus driver's companion. So then they'll be like, oh, okay. And then maybe can you grab that wheelchair that's in the bus? I just feel like a little unsteady. And so it kind of gives them the opportunity to put it on themselves, like, I need this and I'm asking for help. So it does give them that independence, which I love, and it does just give them a second person to be like, all right, you might need a little extra help
Takes the
here,
pressure off
but
of the
most of the
driver,
time
too.
you're good. Yeah.
Takes the pressure off the
Well,
driver.
technically,
Of course.
drivers shouldn't actually leave the
Yeah.
van
bus.
to go into a doctor's office, so that really helps on both ends.
Right.
Which, I mean, ours go above and beyond.
Right. Yeah, they do. They're like, I'll bring her in, it's fine.
Yeah.
So it's been
This
good.
makes it easier.
Yeah, so just like I said, continue recruiting and training volunteers to assist riders who need the extra help has been just pretty awesome overall. And then in the near future, I want to coordinate vehicle maintenance and safety checks. I have been doing kind of my own safety checks on the bus. Like last week, I had them to show me how the lift works and stuff. One of them was getting stuck. So I have it gonna get checked out by one of our mechanics. I just want it to be through the winter season, no problems. If you show up to a house and they have to have a wheelchair, we need it to work. So, which is nice. Yeah, just encourage rider engagement, just being a friendly place, that's my mom, or any of the other volunteers, welcoming presence, just talking with them. She's gotten to know so many of the people that don't really necessarily see anyone else on the bus. It's usually just them, or going to renal care, wherever they're going, so now they're just talking, and they'll call and say, I had the best time ever. So it's nice to see that they're like engaging with other people. Even the drivers will come back and be like, so-and-so had the best time, so it's good to hear. Our drivers have been amazing in their flexibility and their teamwork, stepping in to cover shifts and assist whenever they need. I'm working with them to maximize van usage and try and get them at least on one more day for a 3 driver. Use all 3 of my vans. Because Wednesdays we do the shopping local trip to Shaw's, and I am trying to add at least a Thursday maybe a Tuesday every other week to Stop and Shop or a different store, and just make sure that we are using the vans like we need to.
Do you go to Village Market?
That's the one down the harbor, is that right? Yeah, so I have that on, I've been looking into that, Village Market or Stop and Shop or something else that's other than
Because
Shaw's.
I see the Gatcher buses there a lot.
Okay, yeah, so I'll look into that, because it's right there and it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Especially for some of them that are very capable of going into the store themselves, drop them off for an hour. They can do local rides around here and then go back and pick them up.
I mean, we used to do that, it was
Yeah.
go downtown, it could be the Village Market,
Right.
CVS, they could, if they could
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
around, then that was it, we just, then he
Pizza.
sort of
Yeah.
evaporated
Go
after COVID, so we didn't do that.
Yeah.
And she thought, and we could do other trips to Market Basket or what have you, but they seem happy with Shaw's. so-
Yeah.
Market Basket would be like,
Oh my gosh, I know. And that was like
Oh, we
for
used to do
the,
that too.
yeah, for the
Big
holiday
trip.
seasons too, especially coming up in December, I wanna do a shopping trip, like to, you know.
Super Walmart.
Yeah, like just places that they can go and get Christmas gifts that they wanna get, or just Derby Street, wherever, but.
or Hanover Crossing.
Hanover Crossing, exactly. So I'm just trying to look into things like
We are
that.
maybe trying to bring in another new driver, it seems like we have a lot, but they all have their days, and 2 of them are every day, and they're long days, some of
Yeah.
them, so we could use at least 1,
Yeah.
maybe 2, so that is in the works.
Yeah, exactly. And we're doing Flag Strip November 1st, which all of my drivers
I
are
didn't
so
mention
excited
that yet.
about.
So that's a local trip that, you know, we are actually it's a weekend day, which was a good idea, and that way we can use more than one van. Everybody wants to go with the Blades. It's a historical society sort of, well, unofficial property, I guess, or something that nobody really usually gets to go to.
Mhm.
So they are
Unless you're
opening
a
up.
relative of John Quincy Adams.
Right. So,
The end of mine.
Undermine
The
it,
end of mine,
way down.
All the way down.
but the
So
driveway
then
is usually
So you can
blocked.
go in there with the van and go all the way to the end?
We can
Yeah,
go
so
all
I
the way
have 3
up.
drivers going, and then I'm just gonna
It's
drive
not
my
going to
trucks up
be
on it.
into the home, it's gonna be
Right, it's still-
outside.
Oh, it's,
And
And it
okay,
is
I know what
so
you're
pretty, it is so pretty up there.
And it's
So we'll
rain
have
or
the
shine.
historical society with us to talk, and Bobby Weatherby,
Oh, that would be
that's
awesome.
his name, is going to talk,
Mhm.
and so it's.
And even if it does rain, there's a huge porch that it's all covered, so there's not gonna be an issue, we'll drive right up there.
Did you
And-
have to get special permission to do that?
Yeah,
Can you just walk through there if you want?
you can jump the fence, I think.
High
So
school.
walk.
Yeah,
In the
but you can walk?
wintertime, you can usually walk.
Yeah, the summer you kind of get some dirty looks in the
Okay.
summer.
Yeah. Everyone's on vacation. Yeah, exactly.
But that's an example of something, yes, that you've
Yeah.
been able to do, so.
Yeah, and they're excited and jumped all on it, so it was nice, and I already have my 3 drivers for it. Then they're like, can I bring my spouse? I said, why not? Throw them on the van, well, not throw them, but put them on the van, so.
Is it all signed up? Have you got all the?
We haven't even done it yet.
I haven't started.
Yeah, so we just got the permissions, and I just got my drivers, so.
And it's
we're gonna
going in
put
the
that-
newsletter,
It's going
so
in
we
the-
have to be fair about when it's public, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Right.
And then take
Yeah.
sign up, so.
What day is it?
it's Saturday the 1st, November 1st.
I wanna go with
And so then we have 24, I think we have 33 total for,
We have 2 vans with 12 seats and 1 with 14.
Yeah.
Whatever.
so I just can't count.
Pretty
so-
limited, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
little limited, it'll be,
Yeah, but, yeah, I'm gonna drive myself over there, so hop on in. I've got 5 seats.
bring them over there.
Yeah.
So Lauren, I just wanted to ask, maybe you could take just 2 or 3 minutes just to introduce yourself. give us a little background on
I've got a lot of
who are
crazy
you
background.
and why did you decide to be the transportation coordinator?
Okay, well, I weirdly came from construction, I'm a contractor. But my dad was retiring and I just felt there was something else that I wanted to do. I used to be a CNA for about 9 years when I was younger. I owned a cleaning company, I worked with elderly, I was a hospice care CNA. I took care of a lot of, I grew up in the elderly facilities. My mom was at the Life Care Center of the South Shore. She was in Morton Hospital, as was I, and it just kind of fell into my lap in a very weird way. Stephanie was like, hey, I got a new job, and I put their application in, and I was like, oh, for what? She said, transportation.
What are
I was
friends
like,
for,
oh,
right?
cool, yeah. Yeah, so I was really excited about it, and then I got to meet Linda and Kelly, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely where I want to be.
That's
I've got a
awesome.
lot to bring to the table, and I enjoy, you know, older people and trying to make sure that they are still doing the things that they want to do, living their
That's
life.
awesome.
And this place is amazing for that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
this
very
place
much
is
and
really
welcome aboard.
amazing.
We're glad to
Thank
have
you, thank you, I'm glad to be here.
Anybody have any questions, comments?
I'm just sort of stuck on, you're a CNA at a hospice, that is really heavy duty.
It's very tough, yeah. I did a lot. I watched probably in total 9 people pass away. And it was just kind of fulfilling for me because I knew I was giving them the best care at the end of their life. And then,
With dignity.
exactly, with dignity. And they felt safe. And that was like the best part. I think that was probably, weirdly to say, one of my favorite jobs. Just because it takes a person to like really be that and be there for them. And it was 24-hour shifts. I did 48-hour shifts. But it was, I was in school and I felt, you know, I put all my heart and my soul into it. And it was rewarding at the end, for sure. But construction came out of nowhere, so.
But that can't hurt.
No.
It can't hurt to have.
No, never.
All right, well, thank you very much. So we know you have to leave
I
in
do.
6 minutes, so let's turn it over to you.
Okay, I guess the big thing is, town meeting is November 3rd at the high school gym. There's not a ton, there's a lot on like the consent agenda. To me, the big thing is there's $120,000 for, the water, to study the water for, they're calling it desalinization, which is triggering me, so, but it's mainly like reclaiming water, gray water reused perhaps from the, wastewater, and then using that for irrigation, just trying to somehow get more capacity in our system.
Okay.
I can't remember what else, there's CPC projects, there's, land in the west end, they call it the dish pan, I believe it's about 7 acres that they wanna purchase. Money for the Mordecai Lincoln House, general housekeeping stuff. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, it's probably like incredibly important.
We have the warrant, she sent the warrant, so
Yeah.
they're posted downstairs.
They sent it
It's
by
posted
email,
downstairs.
yeah, no, it's not a time, it looks like it'll be a pretty short,
Really?
Well, there you go.
there's not,
Yeah,
I mean, there's not a
yeah,
ton to
yeah.
just, like, it's like digital, notices instead of printing in newspapers that you can, you know, alert people
Yeah.
digitally, you know, like who's gonna, I mean, maybe they will, maybe 20 people will stand up on the microphones and argue that, but, you know, most of it, as I said, is just, you know, normal housekeeping consent agenda, I'm sure, the April town meeting will be a lot bigger. And then we're working on, you know, going into budget season, so that I'm sure will be fun. There was a couple really good events the last couple months. We had the Fisherman's Fest and Fall for Scituate last weekend. Those were all good.
Was that a new one, the Fall Scituate?
No, that's about 13 years, I think, or maybe it was the 12th. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a great event. It was a beautiful day. It couldn't have been any nicer. It was like nice.
And what's happening in North Scituate?
The sewer is coming. We're getting an update tomorrow night. Oh no, next Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. So I think they're, guesstimating, the cost and hoping to get grants from the state and feds, to help with that, but it's moving along. Sewer is coming to North Scituate.
That's great.
Yeah, it's going to completely change the landscape up there.
Wow.
The sewer is just for the commercial district there,
Which they desperately need.
but it's all zoned for multi-use, like 4-story condos, commercial.
Like
so-
sail loft, multi-use.
Yeah, yeah.
Sail loft, not sail loft, sky sail.
Sky Sail, yeah, so it'll be like that, hopefully a lot of good planning goes into it. But yeah, that'll change a lot, but it'll be good for Scituate for sure.
Any questions for the mayor?
Good answers.
No.
Thank you for your
No,
service
I know.
to our town. Are you still loving your new position?
No, I do. I do love it. Nobody's yelled at me yet. So I even had office hours the other day at the town hall, and I had 2 people come and talk to me. They didn't even yell at me, so
Oh, that's great.
it's all positive.
It's all positive. Well, thank you for your time and service.
Yeah, thank you, and I'll try to get to another one of your meetings.
All right.
Send me anything you need. I'll try to help.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
wonderful.
we
No,
appreciate it.
thank
Thank you
Yep.
so much.
Thank you very much. Bye. I mean, I can go, why don't we keep going, and I can go back, I didn't talk about Janine's, I just didn't want to kill her, she had to leave. So just to go back to our packet, just because she did bother to do this, and, it wasn't easy, her being here only a month as well. She's continued sort of the format for her report, Janine, for outreach, in that there's a whole bunch of things that we kind of, or they do, that they get calls for all the time, and where to put those questions, needs, assistance, all of the above. Whether, I think they've been on a few home visits, Kelly along with Janine, just to acclimate her. A lot of phone calls, a lot of drop-ins. Phone calls even with the grief support, people just having conversations to see, not to say vet, but just to make sure people are ready to be there or appropriate for the group. So she did a lot of that for Kelly, I think, too. Applications already, and she is becoming our new, for the time being, tech guru assistant to do some one-on-ones with people. So where we have had the students, we haven't got any students yet. So she's good. Today, we had a mess of a time trying to get one of our presenters on the screen for his class, which was a shame. But, there were 3 of us up there, but she knows her stuff. So that would be nice to have, and she's going to enjoy doing it. She wants to do it. So, anyway, all of that is very good, but so also some applications for SNAP, Food Pantry, Housing Authority. I know she's met with Colin, with the Housing Authority. And I will say we haven't met the new Housing Authority director. I have not met them yet, but you might have. They did have an event last month that I didn't get to go to, but it's something they had started the year before, just inviting all the housing participants, but also having some of the administration or different departments that might be of value for the residents to know about. So they gathered and launched, did the food. So nice, and you could meet her in that case. I could find it.
She's lovely, and they seem to be following, so everything's going great there. So she's transitioned in very nicely.
But we do actually have a call or an email in to Social Elder Services to try to have a meeting with Dawn Shakral, who has been the sort of program leader for them for many years, and so I know her, but the newer staff has not really met or gotten a chance to know her better, and to know what they could use Social Elder Services for, should they need to connect a client with them. So that's something that's in the works as well. So anyway, so if you haven't met her, you will next month, or you can certainly drop in, but she and Kelly are both in the outreach offices, along with Erica, who utilizes the conference room as an office, as well as Elaine, who does her shine appointments in there, and the attorneys as well. So it's getting a lot more use. It's not as lonely as it was for a while. And then Lauren is with us in the admin offices behind the front desk, so a little more traffic there too. Anyway, I didn't want to not mention.
So where is Lauren? sitting?
Lauren's with us in the admin offices.
Oh, okay,
Myself, Lauren, Gail, and Jim.
nice. Kenzie, would you like to go next?
Yes. Our meeting was on Tuesday. I had a prior medical appointment, so wasn't there. But I can tell you from the agenda that it was about coordinating with the federal and state agencies and trying to navigate all of the changes that are going on. And I can't tell you what they did because I haven't heard yet. But it's an ongoing issue that is going to continue and can only be exacerbated by the fact that the feds are now not having anybody to coordinate with for the most part. So I will let you know if there's anything that will affect us as soon as I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Kinsey? Elaine?
Voss is getting really busy here. We have an English tea lunch coming up on next Friday, October 17th. It's all sold out, so you can't go unless you already bought a ticket, sorry. But that should be a really fun time. We had one a couple of years ago with a hat contest. They all wore fancy hats, and that was very, everybody wanted to continue doing that. Are they gonna continue?
Yes.
Okay, so some people said no, but Kenzie said yes. So she's the president, so that's what's happening.
Yes. And we're also going to have a door prize.
For the hats?
Nope,
Oh,
a separate door prize. We were going to have a raffle and then we discovered that it takes a lot of lead time and we didn't realize that. So we're switching it to a door prize instead. And it's 2 tickets to the Playhouse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
it's kind of a nice prize.
Yeah.
So, sorry you all can't come.
Really, second year in a row I'm missing it.
we also have started, have purchased and are waiting for the arrival of, I think you call them coffee sleeves. So you put a coffee cup here and you put the sleeve around and you don't burn your hands. For use at the cafe. It will have our Voss logo on it.
Nice.
And it will be, and we've talked to Fred, and that is gonna decrease his cost because most people, or a lot of people, use 2 coffee cups so that they don't burn their hands when they're walking away with the coffee cup.
Wow.
I used to use a coffee cup and 3 napkins. So, now I just use a sleeve.
I
So-
could not interrupt, but thank you for bringing that up, because I should have mentioned that for us to donate $3,000 for this new fiscal year for the coffee.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's more than they have contributed, and
Right,
that's,
and well, coffee costs more now.
coffee is expensive enough, and boy, people love it here, they drink way more than they would otherwise, I'm sure. So,
Definitely if they were going to Starbucks.
Oh, well.
so, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry I forgot that.
So, moving on with that, and then the holiday fair is coming up on October 15th, it's a Saturday.
November.
November.
Sorry, yes, November.
November 15th?
November 15th, Saturday, November 15th, I'm sorry. We're getting more and more vendors as we progress. Santa and Mrs. Claus are going to be here. There will be a food truck here. What was the latest, what was the last? I think that was,
I think that's about it, plus the raffle, what we were thinking.
well, we will be doing a raffle there. We did have enough time to, you have to request permission for a raffle like 60 days in advance. So we were able to get that in, and the vendors, besides paying a fee to vend, will be donating an item,
They do that.
$25 to $30 on the raffle table, and then we will be generating some revenue from that, and that is moving along. So it looks to be a very successful fair. We had a great one last year, and everybody was very happy with it, so we're hoping that will continue, and the weather will be decent.
So Elaine, I was just wondering, because I noticed the sign that you have out there,
Yeah.
looking for vendors. So
Right.
are you having difficulty
No,
finding
we're
vendors,
just-
or you're looking for more vendors?
We just, you just need to advertise, to get them to come in and,
Yeah,
emails and letters have been sent out to the ones we had before,
I see.
and ones we know of, but,
Then you're looking for new ones too?
right, right,
Sure, okay.
and
I just wanted to add about the food, the bake sale.
oh, there'll be a bake sale there, yes.
So if anyone would like to bake, you don't have to be a friend to bake for the bake sale. And if you're not a baker, you can just come in and purchase something because the stuff is really, really good.
And we usually have a lot of great baked food for those bake sales,
Absolutely.
so.
Great. Sounds awesome. Anybody have any questions for Elaine? Okay, thank you. Any other old business that we haven't attended to? Or any
think
new
so.
business?
How's the Shine this year? Shine's busy, she's got wait lists
Oh,
on a lot
you
of
got
her dates, but.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm booked through December.
So we did talk about how, Garrity,
24th, you have an opening.
Garrity Advisors there, we had to do a couple of talks, and we
Right.
did think that they could be supplemental, so if we couldn't get everybody an appointment with Elaine.
They are not the
Could
same as
ask-
Sean.
Pardon me?
They are not the same as Sean.
Hmm?
They're working for a company, that's the difference between Shine and any of these other companies.
Sure,
I know, it really is.
but I think they could be helpful if we needed to pull in Elaine Bombasino, who was their
It's good.
Elaine Bombasino, who was their other, their person who was there to do one-on-ones for us at one time. That was the plan, if you needed that extra help. But if you don't, it's fine too.
I don't know what's needed, I'm pretty sure I'm booked through December, so.
There's a couple of openings November 24th.
What is that, is that
The day
Thanksgiving?
after Thanksgiving.
Before.
No, around that date, I mean, I'm not,
I mean,
it's a Thursday,
it is a Thursday?
the week before
It's the week before
Thanksgiving, that Thursday.
That wouldn't be,
I made it.
November 30th is not a Thursday. November 24th is a Thursday,
Thanksgiving is November 27th, so it's the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Monday,
So it's Monday.
okay.
I booked an
also
appointment for someone.
told Joe that I
today.
would do the 26th, Wednesday, instead of the Thursday, because Thursday is Thanksgiving. I don't know if she's gonna take me up on
I
that.
haven't seen the page for that yet.
Okay, okay. I know that throughout the state, all Shine calendars are booked up.
Well, lots of people looking for help, Kinsey.
I just wanted to say that I'm a Blue Cross person, and I go to what used to be Harbor, and they no longer have a Blue Cross
Contract?
contract, and so that's a lot of people locally. And I don't know how we can accommodate that since you're already straight out, but.
The Blue Cross Blue, I love Blue Cross Blue Shield. Maybe I should say past tense, but they sent out letters last week to 47,000 of their customers who are enrolled in a Medicare Advantage PPO plan. They had no premium. That was very well received. Blue Cross Blue Shield has a phenomenal database of providers that you can access. They canceled that program as of last week. Well, I mean, as of January 1st, but they told their customers last week, you
Why
gotta
did
find
they
something
cancel it?
different.
Why did they cancel it, do you know?
I'm sure they weren't making, Medicare Advantage has been having problems. They're not making the money that they want or need
It's
to
an
make.
expensive program.
Without having a premium involved, they weren't making anything.
Of course.
All Medicare Advantage plans are dropping their, they had a lot of extras available to Medicare Advantage members. Like $1,500 for a dentist, well, that's going down to $1,000 next year. They had prepaid cards that you could use for over the counter or anything, hearing aids or whatever. they're discontinuing that.
So this is what you would get through Medicare.
This is,
No,
Medicare Advantage is
Advantage
Medicare,
program.
yeah.
Blue
Blue
Cross
Cross
General
Advantage
just,
is what they
said
got.
they won't accept Blue Cross, Medicare, Advantage or United.
Yeah,
It's really crazy out there.
it's really, yeah. We have been inundated, I don't know how badly here, but I know at our HESCO office that they've been inundated with, I was on a phone call with them this morning to discuss this stuff. And while on the phone call, there were 130 phone call messages waiting for them to answer. There's one person in that office that answers the phone calls. And then they do have remote counselors, but it's mind-boggling.
Is
So
there,
this is like this is for like the gap of what Medicare won't cover?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a supplemental. If you have the Medigap plan, where you have original Medicare and Medigap, that's not affected. But if you have Medicare Advantage, you're gonna be affected this year. And
I don't know that we
40%
scheduled.
of the people that are on Medicare have a Medicare Advantage plan.
How many percent?
40%.
It's very inexpensive.
The
Right.
Medicare Advantage, that's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
If you go to the Medigap plan, which covers everything, you still need a drug plan, but that's gonna cost you a minimum of $250 a month.
Is there sort of a standard answer for, let's say, the 40% who don't know what to do? Is there one answer that would?
If you're getting a lot of calls, we've been telling people to call Medicare. I don't know what that's gonna do.
Weren't they gutted by,
Huh?
weren't they, was it Medicaid, weren't they gutted?
They don't
Yes.
presentation schedule.
the federal,
The federal office has got everything
Federal
on
offices,
answering things,
probably
but,
nobody answering the phone.
is there any potential for like, instead of the shine stuff is like one-on-one or?
right, and it can be a phone too.
So
Can
this was
you also do like,
Cross Blue Shield.
like a higher level take for a larger
We
group? Like
can
do
do,
the-
and
yeah.
I know that our director is looking to do, taking, like 10 to 12 people and setting up a Zoom call with them to discuss what they can do and to show them how to use the Medicare.gov website to get information.
Can we do that here? I mean, I don't think we have a presentation schedule that might,
I'd be happy to
take
do a
on a
presentation. but
larger number of people who have certain.
Just a-
did
it's
it.
an introduction.
Didn't you?
I have done presentations every year since I started, but I didn't do one this year because I wasn't requested to, so, that's,
Well, we have.
and I was a little bit lazy too, so.
So what are you saying to people when someone's coming to you with their Medicare Advantage saying, okay, I got the letter, I'm
If they're
being.
coming to me with an appointment,
Yeah.
I will try to work through something and find them a different plan.
Like, off the top of your head, can you tell me a plan that you would be looking at? Like, if they're saying you're
There
not.
are like 41 Medicare Advantage plans out there,
Okay.
so I can't pick
Is
one.
there one that you?
The one that I
recommend?
always picked is the Blue Cross one that is no
That
longer.
they just got rid of,
Yeah.
okay.
There is, Blue Cross still has Medicare Advantage plans,
Harvard Pilgrim
but they're not-
Health has them too.
they do have a monthly premium now.
Right.
So now we have to look
I've
at
always paid.
the cost and what people can afford, and that's,
That's
Okay.
individual.
So are you saying you should have a presentation where you could encompass like a large group of
Instead of
people?
everybody either needing an individual appointment, or there is a form that they can complete, and Elaine is happy to look those over and make a recommendation, but that's for the Part D.
you have the forms right there.
We have the plan.
I mean, but
the
there's like a new batch of people every year
Yeah.
who turn 65 and they have to figure something out, they've never done it before.
Right.
And
That's
if
what
they
they
had,
It's mind-boggling when they come in, when they're sort of turning 65, and they have no idea,
Yeah.
because
maybe that's.
it's not simplistic language anywhere.
Well,
I
the
spent
employer
2
used
months
to
on
do
this.
it.
2 months I would spend on this.
The employer used to do it for them.
More is.
And the employer made sure everything, cost you,
Oh, really?
yeah, well, yeah, when you worked,
Know that.
you had your insurance through your employer.
Do you wanna-
So the employer had a
Yeah,
broker,
now I'm-
and the broker would do all the legwork for the employer to offer
No.
to
Now it's
their
up to you.
employees.
So-
But now, when you retire, now you are your own broker.
Right, you're on
And
your
there's
own.
so many out there, it's very confusing.
It just seems like it lends itself to sort of a higher level introduction for people to understand what, you know, A, B, C, and D mean.
Yeah.
Okay,
what
what
you
you
see
doing?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I was the director of a program that did that, and we also had people that would do the same thing that Elaine is doing now, which is help individuals with individual decision-making. And both of them work really well. But what we found, and we must have done in the time that I was there, at least 20,000 individual people, is that it really depends on what your medical needs are, which plan is going to work for you. And you can't make a blanket recommendation. You could say Blue Cross or Aetna or, Mass General Brigham, but then the individual has to go in and look at the individual plans, look at their docs, look at their medications, and individualize it for themselves. And if you go to Medicare.gov, or if you have a My Medicare account, then you can go in there and it will show you what your plan is. And then it will show you the best plans for your particular needs. And anyone can do that. It's just that for many of the people that we dealt with, and that was, I gotta say, 20 years ago when we started, compared to the people now maybe, is that everybody is not able to go online and do that by themselves. It's very complex. There are gonna be 41 different plans for Plymouth County.
Yeah.
You're gonna look at them, you're gonna go, I don't even know who this provider is. I don't know, should I make it compared to, like, should I change my PCP? Then you can't find a PCP with that individual plan. Or you're going down to Plymouth or up to Weymouth or some other place. And it's just not easy to have a coordinator help you, a navigator help you, is really, really helpful.
So maybe what we need to do, and I think Linda and Kelly are sort of sidebar talking about this, is to try to figure out maybe having some kind of like a presentation, like a forum or something, just like like the gentleman that comes in for the town, something like that.
Or we could even have like a couple different of the maybe plans,
Well, it's kind of last minute right now, so
Right.
we would try to do that, but again, it wasn't scheduled as yet in the newsletters.
You also need to consider that there's a significant financial impact for a lot of these people. The best place for them to go is a Medigap plan with a separate drug plan. Again, that's $250 at least a month.
So what are you suggesting though? What is?
We can look
The
and see
solution.
what else is available as Medicare Advantage, that's gonna be cheaper. And that would usually cover their drugs, but then you have to make sure that their primary care provider is included.
So are you also saying that really all the individual appointments are required to
Yes.
sort through
Yes.
most of this information? Okay, well, like I said, we could get some extra.
Unless people are able to go online themselves
okay.
and do it, then having a general
Yeah.
kind
Well,
of
even if
thing
you
like
have
Russ
like a general
suggested,
presentation where you
yeah, they
did
could
it,
come
like you
and
walk
look at
people
that,
through it.
and then they would know what they had to
Well,
do and what they were facing.
If you've got 60% of the folks not on Advantage plans and just having to pick
A drug plan,
a drug plan, basically, right?
and that's what they're
Or
coming for this month.
And a gap plan, perhaps.
Yeah,
Well, they probably won't change their gap plan.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're new to Medicare, they would get a gap plan, if that's what they're doing.
Right.
But
But if you've got
typically, you
one,
don't
keep it.
change the gap
But that's a
plan.
lot of people, when you're
You can't
65
really-
and you're facing this. I just remember going through it myself and it wasn't, I think it helps a lot when people understand what the pieces are
Right,
and then
I agree.
a good
I mean,
introduction.
if you know what A, B, C, and D are,
Right,
then you know where to go.
But
from
for the drug plan now, isn't there a $2,000 cap or
next year it's
$2,400?
$2,100.
21 cap.
So this
Yeah.
year,
And you
there's a
said-
cap if the drugs were approved by Medicare. So sometimes you would get a drug plan and you have to pay X amount of hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
for a drug because Medicare doesn't cover it. That doesn't count
Right,
towards your $2,000.
right.
But once you hit $2,000 out of pocket,
Mm-hmm.
Then it's free.
the insurance company has to take over.
Right.
And that works great for some of these super expensive Eliquis drugs, Jardiance, some of the other things. That works great. But again, it has to be with a plan that the drug is covered for. Ozempic is not covered for weight loss. It's covered for diabetes.
Right.
So it's not
Do you have
covered
to,
for
do you have to sign up for it?
For what?
For the cap,
No,
the 2,000?
no.
I thought you did.
No, it's automatic,
It's
and
automatic.
if you go onto the plan finder right now, I just did a search today, and somebody was going to be hitting their 2,100 for next year in September, and automatically it showed no payment due after September.
You should get a report like once a month.
Yeah.
From,
Yeah, an EOB.
and it will say right in there how much more you have to spend before you get to the 2,000. But anyway, does anyone have any other New World business? Because I think we could probably talk for another hour about
Medicare.
Medicare, right? Anybody have any other comments, additions, corrections? All right, well, thank you all. Can I have somebody motion that we adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, thank you all for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh, when's our next meeting?